Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ana Campos, and today we have a special program. It's Your Hidden Superpower, a conversation with ABC News and Good Morning America, Adrienne Bankert. And to introduce our special guest is John Sable. John is the city librarian of Los Angeles Public Library, which serves over 4 million people via Central Library and its 72 branches, as well as online services and programming available 24/7. John's leadership has enabled the library to continue serving the community with online services and a remarkable slate of virtual programming like this one during the unprecedented upheaval of the past year. And now here is John.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all so much for joining us. Before I introduce our fantastic author and speaker this evening, I just want to thank all of the Los Angeles Public Library users, our supporters. We so appreciate your steadfast support through this pandemic, whether you're helping to promote library programs and activities, making use of our services digitally or in person. It means a great deal to us. The Los Angeles Public Library is thriving, and we thank you. And I also, as always, want to extend enormous thanks to the fabulous staff of the Los Angeles Public Library. They have been creative, adaptable, innovative. They have been wonderful through all of this, and I thank them. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce our very special guest this evening, Adrienne Bankert. She is an Emmy Award-winning journalist who currently serves as a national correspondent for ABC News based in New York. You have no doubt seen her on a variety of ABC News platforms, including Good Morning America, Nightline, World News Tonight, ABC News Live. She is really an exceptional interviewer and reporter. She was the first national correspondent to report on the Dallas police shooting in 2016, in Thailand on the rescue of a youth soccer team, and here in Los Angeles, the murder of Nipsey Hussle. She's interviewed so many recognizable names: Dwayne Johnson, Lady Gaga, Will Smith, Scarlett Johansson, Brad Pitt. I've even seen her sing Amazing Grace with Garth Brooks. She is versatile and unbelievably talented. Garth Brooks also has endorsed her book that she'll be talking about this evening too. Adrienne Bankert is wonderfully a California native. She was born right here in Los Angeles, so we claim her as a native Angelino. She is a USC graduate, a reporter and anchor earlier in her career at KABC TV here in LA. And she launched her career at NBC's KCRA TV in Sacramento. And now we're delighted that she's become an author. Her new book is Your Hidden Superpower, the kindness that makes you unbeatable at work and connects you with anyone. That connectedness is truly evident in all of her work. If you've seen her do an interview or report on a subject matter, you see that kindness comes through, and that connectedness with her subject is always there. And one of the things that I've heard Adrienne say when she's talked about her book and talked about kindness that I think is really wonderful and I think will resonate with all of us is that kindness isn't just what you do, it's who you are. So please join me in welcoming journalist, author, and eminently kind person, Adrienne Bankert.
John, Adrienne. Thank you. That was so nice. That was so kind. You are the best. Thank you. And hello to everybody. Hello, everyone watching in Los Angeles and of course points beyond LA, because thank goodness for technology. We're able to be together even when we're miles apart. And one thing that I was mentioning before we went live is that during the pandemic, I had to come up with really creative ways to be kind. And it really tested my kindness. In fact, here's the book. I wanted to just show it to you. I have a copy. I actually need to mail this out really soon. But I wrote this book not to just say, oh, let's all play nice. I wrote this book because at some point I had this aha moment, and John touched on that, where I realized it wasn't just about being nice. It wasn't just about acting kind. It was about knowing kindness as an identity. And when you have an identity, you know, I wake up in the morning and I know who I am. I'm a woman. That's my identity. I don't question it. I just accept it. And so I move through the world as a woman. And similarly, when I realized I am kind, that was a simple kind of click into identity that I hadn't realized before, where my muscle memory, my knee-jerk response is kindness without me trying so hard to be nice to people, especially those who tried my patience. And we all had our patience tried in 2020. We had our humanity tested in 2020. There was a lot of grieving in the past year, and there still is so much that is in transition. I've noticed that for me, kindness is an anchor to my soul when it seems as though the world is shutting down or that we are shut in. So I wrote the book because connection is the key to everything. Relationships are so important. Authenticity, being real, is so important. And so this book is something that will help you at work. It's still helping me. I need to read my own book all the time, and I'm so grateful to be here. So I want to thank you guys, and thank you to John, and thank you to everybody on the staff.
Thank you, Adrienne. So I'm going to bring Patty. Patty's another librarian.
Hi, Patty.
We have a question for you, Adrienne. But before we start, so I do have a request, and I do have notes, so forgive me because I read that you don't do notes, and I was like, oh no, we're doing notes. I'm sorry.
I've been doing interviews for a long time. It's okay.
Okay, so we have notes, but before I start, I do want to ask for a favor.
Okay.
One of my friends and fabulous neighbors, Dorothy Rogers, who's also a big fan of yours, is watching us today. So hi, Dorothy, and Thomas, because I know Thomas is also watching.
Hi.
And she's going through some health issues, so we would like to ask, and I say we because I know Patty's here, if you would mind saying hello to Dorothy and giving her, and as well as everyone that's watching us, some opening, encouraging words.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And hi, Dorothy and Tom, especially to you, Dorothy. I want to say this, okay? I want you to know that your kindness is unique. And I know that you've had somebody in your life battle an illness before, right? I know you're shaking your head, yes. So I want you to tell yourself the kinds of things that you would say to a dear friend, a loved one, a coworker, if they were battling in a health crisis. I want you to speak to yourself with the same level of love and compassion that you have for your neighbors and friends. Because a lot of times in life, we can do it for other people, but we don't do it for ourselves. We can give to other people, but we don't compliment ourselves. And so I want you to just rally. I want you to cheerlead yourself. I want you to look in the mirror when you go into the restroom, and I want you to remind yourself that you are a champion, that you are overcoming this, that you are healthy, that you're going to do everything you can, whether that's changing your diet, taking the right doctor's advice, using that medicine and not skipping a dosage. But I want you to only say what you want to have happen, because your words are so powerful and they affect your mood and they affect your thoughts. And then the second thing I want you to do is wear some bright lipstick like Anna, myself, and Patty, because anytime you put on bright lipstick, it makes you feel better. So those are my 2 pieces of wisdom for you and anyone else who's battling something out there, okay?
I also support this bright lipstick thing. I feel like every year you just need a pink, a red, your go-to color. It makes everything complete.
I love it.
So that's so powerful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So now we are going to start officially with the Q&A.
All right.
So the first one, and I know you already touched on this, what is the hidden superpower?
Your hidden superpower is kindness. And here's why. If you look at everybody that you work with, or you look at everybody in your neighborhood, you look at people in your family, everybody is supposed to be unique, right? And one day I was thinking about this. It's like, oh, everybody's special. Well, if we're all special, then what makes us so special? And I thought, gosh, what's the differentiator? And I realized that my brand of kindness, my thumbprint in life is different than anybody else's. And I think that especially in an industry, in a city like Los Angeles and Hollywood, you constantly have this comparison going on, right? Especially in the media and entertainment industry. And so it was like, okay, we're all special. We're all unique. What's going to set me apart? It's going to be how I express kindness. Anybody can buy your coffee in line for you. You can buy the coffee for the person in the line in the drive-thru behind you. But it's the phone call that you make to someone who needed a call that day. It's the sound of your voice on the other end of the line. It's the way that you speak. It's the warmth that you exude. It's your aura, I guess you could say, that sets you apart from anybody else. But too often we get depleted by life. We get beat down by circumstances. We feel disappointed. We have regret. And all those things tend to chip away at our authenticity, where we're not really sure who we are anymore. And I think that a lot of people are in an identity crisis. They don't know what to tap into to be real anymore because they've been defensive, because they've been led by their wounds, motivated by pain, living in the past. And so I thought, what's the simplest way for anybody to just click into who they really are? And I'm like, oh my goodness, your kind self is your best self. Live my best life. I'm like, okay, what does that really mean? I have a better car, I have a better job, I got more money, I can buy a new bag. No, what does it really mean to live your best life? And it was, your kind self is your best self. So being your best involves being the kind person. And if you are kind, then you're doing what your parents always really wanted for you. You're doing what your grandparents always hoped for you. You're going to become the person who everyone dreamed of you being while you're successful, while you're, pursuing your career, while you're having better relationships. So to me, it's really simple. We complicate it, but kindness is really more powerful than we ever imagined. And too many times we relegate it to this very elementary principle. Children are taught, be kind. But adults, we lose those lessons because we're still measuring them at an 8-year-old's level. Oh, don't bully, be nice. It's way deeper than that. I think of kindness as like love. It's vast, it's limitless, or quantum physics. We don't understand it all. But if we would study it and be intentional about it, we would see that it is a game changer in life and in business.
Yay, that is so beautiful. I wanted to touch, I think there are two things that hit on the spot for me from what you just said, because I said in the beginning, you were like, it's listening to yourself and being kind. And I think you mentioned this a little bit about your books, how they will hiddenly and secretly start coming up, right? Being kind, and there'll be small reminders. And so I think that is the hidden part of being kind. And so that really resonated. So
it can be stealth. Kindness can be one of the most stealthy things you can do, because people aren't expecting kindness nowadays. They really aren't. They're expecting you to honk really loud in traffic. And, sadly, there was a story today of two neighbors. There was a man and a couple, and they're all dead now because they were arguing over shoveling snow. Jeez. And it's like, you think about the world that we live in now and the kinds of things you hear about on the news, and it's like, man, you can become very negative. You can become very much expecting that there's a hidden agenda with a lot of people. But that authentic kindness is something that really we're all asking for, even if it's silently. We want to be treated with respect. We want to be appreciated by our boss. We want to make a difference in the world and be kind to others. And so to me, we have to heighten the awareness of kindness in our society again. Yes.
And we have to just keep reminding us. And I think that's what your book does, is always reminding us to be kind. And
yes, so we need to be reminded.
So now question number 2 we have for you. So you define kind as, and we quote, disposed to do good to others and to make them happy by granting their requests, supplying their wants, or assisting them in distress, end quote. So I want to focus on the words disposed and granting. Some can say that these types of words can have negative connotations, right? Or some would say it comes with sacrifice context, right? So especially as women of color, what do you think these words mean to you? Or what do these words mean to you? And how do you specifically give them a positive context within the meaning of kindness?
Well, I guess it would depend on what your beliefs were, but most kids are taught, even in public schools, that there's a Santa Claus, and again, not everybody believes in Santa Claus. Not every family celebrates Santa Claus, but the kind of spirit of generosity, that there's somebody out there that wants to give them gifts. I think that for me, it's like let me be that spirit of generosity. Let me be the one who surprises you, somebody I've never met before until now, with a Valentine's card if you're single. I'll give you a story. I don't know if I put it in the, I think I put it in the book. I forget, because it's like, which kind of story did I leave out? But there was a woman, she was an exchange student from South Korea, and she was living in Texas. I was living in Fort Worth at the time. And I found out that one of our mutual friends had rented her an airline flight attendant costume, like from the 1960s, with a little powder blue hat and a little matching bag and like a really cute jacket and skirt. And I said, well, what's going on? And she said, well, I really dream of being a flight attendant. And I said, huh. And my wheels started turning. So I called one of the local airlines and I said, hi, this is Adrienne Bankert from this station. And I'm wondering if you can do me a favor. I have a young lady, she's an exchange student. She dreams of being a flight attendant. Can we come down and just go into one of your planes and take pictures of her inside the plane? And that way it gives her something as a vision board, you know? Yeah. And they said, well, we'll do one better. We'll allow her to have a full tour of our flight attendant training center. So I didn't tell her what we were doing. She dressed up head to toe in this flight attendant outfit. And I told the woman that she was living with, I'm like, just get in the car. I'm going to record this on my cell phone. And we're just going to show up at this place and see her reaction. And so the whole time, I think I had like an old like Android phone, and I'm just like recording everything. And she's like shocked. And the gentleman who had given me this access gave us a full tour. She got to go on a plane, push the drink cart, close the door, all the stuff, as if she was getting trained that day. And then was told, you know, guess what? We're just opening a hub in South Korea. Now, I don't know that she got a job with them, but the fact that she was able to have that virtual reality experience in a sense, you know, yes. That was powerful. And it was a vision for me to give in different ways to help people step into their dream. And so for me, when I think of the word disposed, you know, it means to give to somebody. It's a very simple thought process of, I know I have things that other people might need or desire. I'm going to lend that to my purpose and fulfill that, granting their desires, you know, like Genie and Aladdin, you know, I'm like, let me grant your wish. And I know Genie wanted to be free more than anything. At the end, he was free, but he really wanted love. But my point is that we all can grant people certain things because we have access to them. Somebody did something kind for me today. They helped me with a project, and I didn't even know they could help me. And they were like, oh, that's easy for me. I'll show you. I'll walk you through. I'll show you what to do online, and I'll even give you this bonus thing. And I thought, I didn't even know this is what this meeting was about. But they granted my request that I wasn't even asking them for. So I think that if we would think of it more as, you know, we have an abundance of something. Some people are really good at couponing. Like, have somebody hook me up with a free, you know, cereal or something, my favorite cereal, because they have a coupon. I'll be fine with that. I'm just not going to be the one to snip and clip the coupons. So it's not about the amount of money. It's not about what it is. It's whatever you have. Some people are really good at shopping. So take your friend or take a stranger shopping and say, I'm going to give you an extreme makeover. Let's go to, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be, you know, a department store. It could be Target, and be like, you know what? I'm just going to give you an outfit today. Those kinds of things are cool. But you could also just buy the person in front of you who has two items, the milk they have and their eggs, and just buy them for them. Grant their request. Just make them happy. It's fun.
It really is fun. And the smiles and the feet. I mean, it is true. I mean, I also think about the responses that I give when someone grants some form of kindness, and also just the happiness it brings me. So yes, it is.
It's a good feeling when somebody buys you lunch. I'm trying to think of the last time somebody did that for, well, today somebody bought my lunch. That was nice.
Oh, see, you're going to tell the universe will grant it.
Well, I mean, I've had times where people didn't even know I was asking for things, and they showed up with exactly what I needed. But it's like when we expect that kind of kindness, it's usually because we've given it. If you don't give kindness, it's really hard to think that people are thinking about you. I know that might sound backwards, but it's like, oh, nothing ever good happens for me. Well, when's the last time you did something for somebody? When you do that, you kind of start to create this expectancy in yourself. It's like you increase the capacity to be able to realize that that kindness actually exists. Because a lot of people are so jaded, they don't think that kindness really exists anymore. But if I'm doing it all the time and I'm seeing kindness demonstrated through my kind acts, it doesn't really matter what other things are going on in the world. It doesn't really matter how hard things are in that one moment, because in that moment, I'm a breath of fresh air. In that moment, somebody's a breath of fresh air to me. And that's all that matters. That's enough fuel for me to keep going through all the other hard stuff or my job deadlines that I have to go through.
Sense.
No, I feel like it's, because it's all this beautiful positive things. And I feel that people have this, which even you addressed that in the book, and this is the part when I asked. So you're a young, influential Black woman in high positions. In your book, you mentioned that being kind does not mean being a pushover.
Right.
And you elaborate on how one can be both assertive and kind.
Yes, because it's interesting. People higher up, I've noticed, aren't necessarily used to kindness. You can be used to people saying yes to you. Yeah. You can have yes people around you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they care about you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'll tell you two scenarios. One is if I'm interviewing a very high level person or a celebrity or influential person. Okay. I've learned that many times they don't encounter kindness. They encounter skeptics. They encounter people who think they know how to deal with high-level people or celebrities, but they don't see the realness in people. And when you can offer something real, you will stand out, because most people are not offering that kind of authenticity. And so just that, being your kind self, just being thoughtful, just doing things that treat them like humans, not like idols or like, oh my gosh, you're larger than life. Something that I tell people is treat everyone like you would treat your favorite celebrity. So if you are a big fan of, I'm trying to think of somebody. Brad Pitt. If you're a big fan of Brad Pitt or Shawn Mendes or whoever, and you go goo goo gaga over that person, and you would listen to every word they speak with bated breath, and you would pay attention, and you would open their door, and you would say, here, come on in and have a meal with us. If you treat everyone like that, then you're going to get a different response from people. But the truth is, most of us only treat a very select number of people like that. And so at the same time, just treating them like, listen, you put your pants on one leg at a time too, and you're going through things too. I tell the story. I don't really think I said it this way in the book, but when I interviewed Brad Pitt, I remember people saying, oh my God, Brad Pitt, and it was like, if I had treated him like that, if I had treated him like sexy Brad Pitt, then I would have not been able to connect with him. Because turn the tables now, and I'm on the other side of the table, and somebody just treats me like sexy whoever I am, then they're only going to get the surface. They're not going to go to that place where we see each other eye to eye, and we know that we've gone through struggles, and we know that we have things that we regret or life choices that we wish we could change, and then the lessons and the wisdom from that. And in that particular conversation, I just remember connecting with him on the subject of mortality. And he said some really poignant things about how you realize in your mid-50s, which none of us on the call are, but we will be one day, that you start thinking about the fact that you only have so many years left. And he said something to the effect of, I and the director of this movie realized we have lived more life than we have left. And it was just a beautiful conversation that would never have happened if I just treated him like I was starstruck. The other side of being, and again, that is being assertive with kindness in a way that humanizes people. The other side of it is if you're in a job situation, you have a boss. A lot of bosses are used to people being defensive or having issues with their authority figures, right? They think they're not appreciated enough. They're not being paid enough, whatever. And so what I've learned is one assertive tactic, and I say tactic because it's very intentional. It doesn't take away from the genuineness of it. But whenever you're dealing with somebody who's a decision maker, who's an influencer, who's somebody who can say yes or no to your requests, you've heard the term kill them with kindness. I don't want you to kill them. I want you to assert yourself as an answer to their problem. Because normally people talk to their bosses when they're in trouble or when they want something. But if you can bond with that person, if you can go in and you can assert yourself in a way that says, listen, I'm here to support you. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you with. Let me know that I can help in this area or this area. Maybe you have some insight into what the issues are that need to be addressed. That will be so refreshing to them. And they'll see that set apart from what the majority of their staff is doing. People are going through way more now. You're going through way more. Our kids are going through way more, just with all the changes due to the past year. I guarantee your bosses are going through more. And when you check in with them with that, I'm a solution, not I need something, you will be more received. You'll be more received by that person.
That's cool. I like that. I like the assertiveness, like asserting your kindness. I think that phrase, because it's like with a purpose, right? You're not like just saying, I think the cliche kindness, right? It's like there's a purpose behind your kindness, and you've become kindness. So
exactly.
I like that.
Be the kindness.
I do want to mention to our viewers who are watching that if you have a question for Adrienne, please put them in the chat if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. So we are hoping to get to them towards the end once we finish this part of it. But yeah, I want to remind that.
My first grade teacher is watching. I still keep in touch with my first grade teacher. She was one of the people that introduced me to the bookmobile as a child. So hi, Miss Etchapar. He hates when I say
That's
that.
my favorite. You know, teacher support never ends. I give props because even as you're an adult, they'll still be rooting for you. I mean, yes, I love it.
I love it too. It's very nice. So thank you to all the teachers out there.
Yes. All right. So the next question is, yes, I can read. You mentioned that once you embrace kindness, it will allow one to see, quote, that we are each the one and only, which eliminates comparison or competition, end quote. Why is this so important to understand as we shape our life under the meaning of kindness? In a world where compassion and competition seems to be embedded in everything, how can one do this?
Well, I think, a lot of us, like I said, kind of in the beginning, a lot of us are looking for what we're called or purpose to do. Like, what is our destiny, right? And it's hard to figure that out when all you're doing is comparing yourself to the next person, whether they look like you or not, whether they're prettier than you, whether they're, more advanced than you, whether they work out more than you. I mean, we're constantly bombarded with images that tell us either that we're not enough or we need to do more to be significant. I'll never forget, I was kind of having this conversation with myself and I thought, I'm doing all this good stuff to be significant. That's why I want to do something significant, right? I want to change the world or change my community. And the thought occurred to me, I'm already significant just by being. And that's not something that we teach a lot. I think that it resonates a lot. Whenever I share this, it's like, I tell women a lot of times, because I happen to mentor quite a bit, and I say, listen, a diamond does not do anything but sit there and we value it. It does nothing but sit in a case. You have an inherent value if you never did another good thing, if you never did another good deed. I think that's a part of the reason why, being the one and only, being somebody who cannot be duplicated, comes from accepting that your kindness is your identity and not a series of acts that you do to prove to anyone or yourself that you are special. And so being kind authentically, when you recognize that this is me based on my family history, based on the things that I've overcome, based on what I do for people that is kind, and based on the fact that I am inherently worthy and valued, then no one for the rest of all history and no one who's come before you could ever be you. It's not mathematically possible because of the unique set of circumstances that you were made in. So I think this is important because once you do that, you stop looking around at what others are doing and you focus on what your purpose to do.
Yes. Oh my God. I just want to cry because I think as a young professional, especially like with immigrant parents and, being of color, there's this need of always needing to do more and so it's always a very good reminder to know that you are significant if you don't do anything else, which obviously you're going to do more, right? Because it's in our ethics, but I think a lot of us need to hear this more. And that was a very good reminder.
Yes. Well, it's true. And we, the imposter syndrome is real, and it comes in different versions and different means. And you have, a lot of families with a lot of immigrant families have something where the parents rely so much on their kids. And so you have to grow up very quickly, and you have to kind of live two worlds while you're growing up, be very grown up. And so sometimes you have one foot in and one foot out of different cultures. But what I want to help you do, anybody, and it's any family can have this happen to them, but I've seen it specifically with immigrant families, is come to the center of knowing who you are. Know who you are. Don't stress out about trying to balance these worlds, because you're literally carrying two worlds on your shoulders all the time, and you can get lost that way. So come to center it. Who are you?
I feel like it's almost like mindful meditation. Someone already commented the advice you're giving us advice on life, career, everything. And before I ask my next question, I want to plug in that the library has the book, format, and also hard copies. So you could definitely get it with your library card. So check it out. We do have curbside pickup. So
that's nice.
Check them out. And then online, you can get, if you live in the city of Los Angeles, you can apply for an e-card. And you automatically can start downloading books, movies, and almost everything. You can find everything with your library card.
Music, 5 free downloads.
Oh, nice.
No, we have
your own soundtrack.
Yes.
Yes.
So now I'm ready for the next question. So when you ask, who are you in the book, my first response is to answer that I'm a professional. But in reality, my answer should be that I am kind, especially when I think back about folks who have said about my work style, my professionality is rooted in kindness and respect for everyone, no matter who they are. I aspire to refocus my ways of thinking so that when I get asked this question, I say kindness. What tips can you give our viewers on how to achieve and recognize when they have done this?
I think that, that dovetails into the conversation before. When you feel a lot of pressure, and we're all feeling it. Okay, let me just tell you, I've been working through my own multifaceted pressure on every side. It can be overwhelming. I started asking people this question randomly. Who are you? When I ask you the question, what is your answer? And a lot of people were stumped. Some people would say, well, I think I'm a good person. But I said, I didn't ask you if you're a good person. I said, who are you? And then some would say their name. But I realized I'm like, there has to be a right answer. There has to be a right answer for me. And some people would say what they do. Like you said, I say I'm a professional. Some people say I'm a whatever they are, custodian. I'm a security guard. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. But if I say I am kind, then whether I lose my job, I'm still kind. Whether I stop being a professional, I decide to take a break to have kids, I'm still kind. Whether everybody's mad at me and my relationships are just totally fractured, I am kind. Whether I'm trying to think, if the bottom falls out in your life, I say that because I think I came up with this concept when I was going through a big struggle in my life. And it felt like everything was just falling apart. And I just thought, I put so much of my identity in my career. And it was all about what I did was who I was. And if I wasn't doing that 24/7, if I wasn't in demand 6 days a week, then somehow I wasn't being me. And I had to determine that there was something that I could say that had nothing to do with what I did for work, where I worked, who knew my name, who didn't know my name. Because I think that, I think of all of and I apologize, this is a long answer, but I keep thinking of different stories. When the pandemic first hit, I immediately thought of all of the crew, because we didn't have as many camera operators working and gaffers and lighting technicians and sound men working in the field and working in studios, and the movie industry and how it was affected. And I thought, gosh, I feel my heart breaks for them, because what do they do now when they don't have what they spend the most time doing? They can feel easily lost. And I just hated that feeling of being lost for myself. And so I write about those hard times. And when I say I am kind, it reminds me, okay, maybe I don't have a job to go to right now, or maybe I'm making minimum wage in between gigs, but I'm going to remember to give to people. I'm going to remember to encourage them. Maybe I don't have a lot of money right now. Maybe my money's dried up. Okay, then I'm going to give compliments. I'm going to volunteer. And so using that identity of I am kind, I'm never bored. I'm never sitting on the couch doing nothing. I'm saying, you know, I've got something to do. I've got a purpose. I've got to help people. I find out opportunities. I ask people what's going on. And I remember at those low points in my life, I was volunteering at a food bank an hour and a half away on a train. And I would volunteer. And, you know, sometimes I'd come home and feel worse than I did when I left, but it was like, I knew it was the right thing to give back. That motivation kept me busy enough, in the good sense, doing something useful, rather than becoming sucked into toxic conversations, relationships, addiction, depression, because that's what happens when you don't know the answer to who are you. You feel like you don't know who you are, so you'll do things that are actually betraying your own conscience, betraying your identity. And so it really helps to keep you centered and balanced.
Yes. As someone who suffers through depression and placing value on the things that, like the production of a person or who I am, I think when I read that question, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is so, like I've never even thought about that until now. And I was like, it's true, because no one can take your kindness away, right?
Nobody, it can't be canceled. A lot of things got canceled, but not kindness.
Exactly. And so that was a really good reminder, especially right now with the pandemic and everything going on, because one can feel so alone and frustrated. As someone who lives alone, I'm like, bah! And so it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder. So I appreciate it. I can hear you talk the whole day.
Get the audiobook too, guys. I don't know if the library has it, but
we have.
Oh,
it was digital, audio, in both formats. So we have all 4 formats. So it's the actual CDs,
wow,
the book, the ebook, and the audio. So check it out with your library card.
I love the audiobook, and I did it. It was because I did it during a pandemic. It was really hard, but I'm so grateful that I got to do that.
We just need it. So me and Ana are both on the translations team, and we need it in Spanish. We need it So this is my hone in of like, can you get this book translated for us though? Not for us, but for our Spanish readers.
Yes. How do I do that? I'm going to talk to my publisher. I'm like, I wonder.
See, yeah, and then
I would love to do that. Un poquito español. I can do it.
And then we'll invite you over to do the Spanish version.
Yes. Come on. Ándale pues.
I know, and then we can promote it. Yes, this is my little.
There's someone. Thank you. Someone already placed the book on the audiobook.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Tito 57.
Yeah. All right. Next question. I lost track because I was really excited about asking.
Oh, okay.
I was like, please have it in Spanish.
Let's do it.
Hold on.
You're 5.
I'm 5. See, it's because so one of the things as someone who purchases Spanish material for our library is getting an English book and hoping it was also available in Spanish. So
I'm so glad you're bringing this up. Thank you. I will get this to the publisher.
All right, question number 5. Is it me who has
6? Sorry, you're 6.
Oh,
I'm on 6. This is so good. We're losing track.
Too excited. So you give ideas on how we can be kind with intention to others. Can you give us some examples of some of the things that you do and what your favorite ones are? What your favorite ones are, or ones that stand out to you the most that you've done before?
Okay, so my favorite is I kind of got tired of sending people text messages during the pandemic because it was so like, okay, I can't look at any more emails or text messages. It's so boring. So I would start to send video messages. So I would just do selfie mode with my phone and be like, hey, you're a rock star. Hey, I can't wait to see your face. And then send it. And literally it'd just be a hello. I don't need anything from you. I just want to say what's up. And people would always smile because we didn't see each other's faces because we had masks on all the time, or we just didn't see people in general because we were not traveling as much. I love sending Venmo gifts. I started using Venmo big time during the pandemic to send people coffees, lunch. In fact, I mentor a group of women inside of Disney. And I said, hey guys, I have this idea. I want to do in fact, I should do another one next week. I want to pick one person out of our whole group and we're all going to buy them coffee. And so if you buy a coffee, like at McDonald's, it's $1. If you buy a coffee at Starbucks, it's like $6, maybe $8 if you're in New York. in LA. If you buy a coffee at your local community coffee shop, it's probably like $5, you know? So, but you know, maybe you're getting coffee and a pastry, or maybe you're getting coffee and a quiche, whatever you want to give. Each person in the group gives that person coffee, and they can do whatever they want with the money. And you can do this on the job. And then it's not like, oh, I only have $5 to give. Well, how much is a coffee, dude? Like, you're not mad about that. If somebody gets your coffee, you're super excited. So I think sometimes people don't give because they don't feel like it's significant enough, or it's not a lot of money. But if 15 people give you $5, you can get a manicure. And maybe a pedicure. Actually, $75, you can probably get a manicure and a pedicure. You might need a couple extra for the tip. But my point is that I'm just like, we weren't going to lunches. We weren't going to dinner. So send somebody Uber Eats to their house. Pay for their Uber to come see, I don't know, to come to the grocery store, to come see you if you guys are 6 feet apart. Like, do something that's like virtual. If you're not comfortable being around people, you can send money like 50 different ways now. I think those are the two top ones. I'm sure I have more, but yeah, for the sake of time, I'll stop.
That is, yes. I got a Venmo surprise gift once, and I was like, oh my God, I can go get caught. Like, it's just also really good reminders to like self-care. So I think that's a really good one.
Oh, one more. If you know somebody who has debt, there was a group of us last year who were helping pay off people's debts. And so some people had like $5,000 in debt, and some people had like crazy amounts of debt. but a lot of people are in debt. And so if you're close enough, because this might come off weird to somebody who you don't know that well, like, why, what are you trying to say? Do I look like I'm in debt? Do I walk around do I dress like I'm in debt? Like, I don't know what people are thinking, but they might be like put off by it, but I would say it's money. So who cares? But you can like talk to somebody and be like, listen, do you have any credit card bills that are due? Or do you, is there some, like, I just want to do something kind. Is it okay if I do that? And then I tried to give away money just to strangers on the street. That's really hard. It's a lot easier to Venmo, because people are like, why are you giving me this? Who are you? And plus we have to keep masks on and stay 6 feet apart. So it's like, why are you doing this? Why are you giving me this money? It's like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to Venmo people that I'm friends with. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Great, yes, thank you. So the next one was in chapter 3, someone's always watching.
Yeah.
That resonated with me because I too heard this expression from my grandparents. It is something I keep in mind, and it helps me to be a better person. Why is this important for growth and development?
Why is this important for girls in development?
For girls. I'm sorry, girls. Like
for girls, right? Like young women, young ladies.
Like,
Growth and development. Forgive me. I was like, girls and development. I'm like, oh. I mean, it's good for girls. It's good for guys. Somebody's always watching is a statement that my mother taught me as a kid. And I really believe that she put the fear of getting caught doing something bad in me. So there's a really old show called Smile. I think it's called Candid Camera, but the song would say, smile, you're on Candid Camera. And now everybody's on Candid Camera, because no matter where we go, somebody can bust out their cell phone and like roll on us. So being in broadcasting and knowing that before I go on air, there's all these people in a booth or at their house now, I don't know, it depends on where they're at, listening to my conversation prior to my mic being hot over air. So even though I'm not being broadcast out in that moment for the story, I'm being broadcast out in the off time that could go live, right? Because we've seen bloopers and we've heard about people being caught on a hot mic. And so I've just treated life like a hot mic moment and endeavored. And again, nobody's perfect, right? I've definitely said things I regret. Absolutely. But I really worked hard to say, I will only say what I would be comfortable with if I was on the LA Public Library live, or if I was on the cover of the LA Times, or if I was on YouTube and it went viral, because not for fear, but because I want to always be who I am. I always want to be authentic. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, because it's a small world and it's even smaller now. And the person that you might be saying something negative about, you might be standing right next to one of their friends. You just don't even know. And so I think it's important for growth and development, number one, because it's building a reputation. that people will recognize over time. It might not seem like it right now, but you're building a reputation every single day. And then in terms of just developing you, it's nice to just always know that whatever you say, you are doing it in the most genuine way possible. You don't have to put on a show for anybody. You're not just putting on a mask when you get into your office, if you're able to go to your office, or going on that Zoom conference call. You are being yourself all the time. And that's really all I want to do. I want to be me all the time, 24/7.
Yes. And it's also a really good reminder. Leave it to mamas to like scare the bejesus out of all of us. Make us feel like someone is always watching, Yes,
Yeah, totally.
mamas and grandmas. I'm like, yes, I've been told that everyone is always watching, don't do anything anyone wouldn't want, and I think it's a really good reminder to just, stay grounded. And even when I think that's the hardest when you're having a really bad day. Because I get grumpy. I'm a grumpy person. No one believes it, but I'm like, no, I get grumpy. But I try to do things that are kind because I know it's a really good centering point. So yes.
That's who you really are. But sometimes you just get tested, and that's every one of us. And I'm still working through it. This week, I was like, okay, I'm the author of this kindness book, and this is not my best moment. I'm not living my best life right now.
Exactly. You're like, I'm just going to be grumpy but I think that you can be kind and grumpy,
it's just, you have to, what you have to have? You have to have people in your life who will be accountability for you, whether it's a mentor or a friend who'd be like, wait a minute, wait, time out. I thought we were kind. I thought we were living our best life, saying something that's not like condemning you or making you feel bad or feel, you know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of people who can be like, oh, she says she's kind. I saw her get an attitude. It's like, we're human, but we're constantly working towards being kind 24/7 because that's who we really are. It's just sometimes we forget who we are because people are acting a mess. Some people are being unfair. Some people are being mean. And it's like, I want to respond to that meanness with kindness, but sometimes it just, get a little tested, straighten up. You'll be all right.
I know. You just, shift it, shake it off.
Shift. Yes.
But yes, it's a good reminder. I lost my question. Okay, number 8. I get so consumed by your words. Okay. So, what is the difference between kind versus being nice?
I love this, and I get asked it a lot. There's a group of people that says, oh, I thought they were the same thing. And then there's a group of people who say, oh, you are so right. Yes. Nice and kind are not the same thing. So to break it down, nice is a hello in the hallway. Nice is polite, and it's not a bad thing. Kind is a warm embrace. It's extremely situationally aware, and it's invested in the engagement that you have with that person. So throughout your career, or even now, like when you chime in on your Zoom, because that's how most people are communicating. And you say, hi, everybody. Hope everyone's healthy. And then, okay, let's get to the meeting. There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's completely acceptable. I just want people to graduate to a different level, which is kindness, where you look at the faces of the people that you're working with. If you keep your camera off and you look at some of your colleagues or your team, I want you to, before you tune in, before you go live, before you start talking, I just want you to have a moment of silence with yourself, watching everybody that pops up on that Zoom. They might be perplexed that you're a couple of minutes late, but I want you to see if you can tell somebody's distressed. I want you to see if you can tell if somebody looks depressed. I want you to look and see if somebody looks angry or frustrated, because a lot can be seen with body language. And this is the cool thing about Zoom. Most people look miserable on Zoom for the majority of every conference call. I'm just saying, I could give you a whole class on Zoom etiquette and Zoom energy and how to look more vibrant. But my point is, they're not going to lie to you. Their body language, their face is going to be so honest. That's why it's like everybody's on TV now. Everybody's a broadcaster now, because you can tell when somebody who's broadcasting is a phony. You can tell when they're intelligent. You can tell when they're quick on their feet. You can tell when they, are very, rigid in their delivery versus a little bit more extemporaneous, and they can ad lib and all that stuff. People read all that. We're very savvy. We're very smart as audiences. So be that savvy with your team, care a little bit more to be engaged, and then be okay with maybe checking in on the ones who look like they're a little down or look like they're frustrated, and say, hey, I noticed your face on the Zoom. Or don't even bring that up. Just be like undercover boss and check in with them and say, hey, I just wanted to check in with you. What's going on? And don't just say, what's wrong, or are you okay? Find out, like, ask those questions about what their family situation is like, if they've had any deaths in the family, if they've had an illness in the family, and really let them talk it out. You don't have to give them therapy, just care a little more. That's the difference between nice and kind. I mean, that's one example, but do you understand?
Yes. And I also love Undercover Boss. It's a really good show, but yes, it's
a great concept. We should all be undercover bosses.
Oh my God, yes.
I think going into the kindness, because it's showing kindness to others, but also showing kindness to ourselves. So what are some ways we can be kind to ourselves, especially right now during the pandemic, when we have almost been at this for a year, actually almost a year, we're next month. What are some new ways you have learned to be kind to yourself?
Well, I, number one, like we mentioned to Miss Dorothy at the top of the call, hi again, Dorothy, speak words about yourself that you know are edifying, building you up, because a lot of times we'll be harsh on ourselves. You know, we'll say things that we would not say to someone else, to our own inner self. We don't even necessarily say it out loud, but we think it, you know, speaking out what you want versus what you don't want. Take the time. I know a lot of people are not feeling safe about going to nail salons. You know, it's so funny because I have this little like nail kit, and I've been talking about nail care. And so I like have this surrounding me, like little things of lotion, cuticle cream, and like nail polishes, and like doing my own nails to feel a little bit more pretty or a little bit more polished. For me, that's something that I like. I get facials. I know some people aren't safe about that. I don't know if LA is open with facials. But I get that treatment here in New York. It's open because that's what I need it. Like I need it. If you can't get a massage, if that's still something that's canceled, get a Theragun or get a massager, get a foot massager, do something to invest in your body, because the tightness that comes, you know, those, you can even buy them at the drugstore now, but like you put them in the microwave and heat them up and they just hang around your neck. It's like a bean bag or something, but it's just like something nourishing and comforting. Don't just go for eating as comfort food, but comfort yourself in a way that, you know, is healthy for you, mind and soul. It's really, really important. I tell people, take time to dream, take time to be quiet. Because if you don't take time for yourself, you're going to take it out on others. You got to care for yourself. You got to check in with yourself. You need to have the health checkups that are required for your age category. In 2020, you know, my doctor had been pushing me saying, I want you to get a colonoscopy earlier than the standard age. I think the standard age is like 45 and 50 or something like that. You know, if you're African-American, I think the age is 45, but they recommend you get your first colonoscopy. And, I got it early, but I made myself like, I just said, no, I'm getting a colonoscopy before the end of 2020. And I think it was like December 19th or something. And I just made that happen, but it was an investment in my health. I started getting more vitamins in my diet. I started eating better. That kindness to yourself is saying, I'm investing in me now, knowing that I'm going to have a long, full life, and giving myself that vision of a future is kindness to me.
I think as an adult, can you hear me? I was talking
about
Zoom editing. I had Zoom etiquette. I had to put some headphones on because there was an echo. I didn't want to hurt anyone's ears.
Oh, you're good, girl.
What is it? So vitamins is something very important that I think a lot of people don't talk about as an adult. I didn't take them as a little kid, so please, yes, listen to Adrienne and invest in vitamins and your health. So
well, and your hormones too, for women and men. Yes. Like I've studied hormone health since I was a teenager because it just fascinated me, and I realized there's a lot of things I didn't know. My girlfriend had to kind of nudge me because I'm like, oh, I'm healthy, I'm good. I've studied health, I've read lots of books. My mother raised me on tofu. We're good, and I found out there are certain things that I should not be eating because it affects my hormones. I found out that there's certain things that I should not be drinking because of hormone health. And you know, if you're wanting to have kids and you're thinking about that in your life, like for some people, they just seem to have kids and it's really easy. My mom had 7 of them, so I get it. My grandmother had 9. My journey is unique and different for me. And so I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about a vision for what I want. And I think when you are a professional woman, and I'm sure for men, there's some correlations as well, but speaking specifically to the women, if you want to have kids, then you have to have some of the same passion that you had for your career, if you put that ahead of kids, which is what I did, you have to have that same passion for the family aspect too, and start planning and do the things you can control. Make sure your body is in good health. Make sure your abs are tight so that when you have that pregnancy, that you can pop back into that cute outfit afterwards, if that's your goal, you know what I'm saying? But give yourself a vision of who you want to be in the next 5 and 10 years, and don't just let life happen to you.
Yes. That is a very good reminder I think health needs to be repeated a lot, and how that is self-care. And that is just, being kind to yourself, which therefore makes you kind to others. So
it's true. Self-care for me is community care. If I take care of myself, I'm really taking care of everyone that I touch, because I won't be grumpy.
Yes. Talking about being grumpy. It's true.
Right, Patty? Get you a foot bath and you'll be fine, and you won't be grumpy anymore. No. Oh
my God. I know I'm going to be known to everyone who's watching as the grump. I'm very nice. Ask anyone, but my
I believe it. It's just, we all have moments. We're spicy. That's all. We're just a little spicy.
Exactly. I'm just like, yeah, but I tell people,
honesty is kind. Kindness isn't just saying what everybody wants to hear. Sometimes being kind is very direct, and you have to get in their face and be like, listen, this is not healthy and this is not good. And it can come off like, oh, well, you're so mean, or you're so strong. And it's like, no, I'm so honest because I love you enough to tell you the truth. This ain't working. We need to check this. Yes. And sometimes you have to be a little stronger. That doesn't mean you're not kind. That means you're direct. And a lot of people need that.
Yes. And that's a good reminder, and the difference between being mean and direct, or assertive. I think assertive is given such a negative connotation. It's like, no, I'm communicating with you. And
I'm transparent. I'm honest. And people are used to having someone say, oh, whatever you want. Oh, well, oh, who cares? And it's like, no, tell me the truth. Tell me straight up. I'm not delicate. Just be upfront.
Exactly. Yeah. Should we take audience questions, Anna? I think there's one.
Let me see. I did see something. I have to find most of it. But I'm just going to start putting some of the comments so Adrienne can see them. Thank you, Celia.
Before it hits 6:30.
Yeah, just before we continue, there's
hey Nick. Prince George's County Memorial Library in Maryland. Shout out. Thank you, Lizette.
There's Jordan.
Okay, there's a question.
Celia likes the bright colors.
How do you there's a question. There you go. How do you come to the center to who you are?
Well, first you have to take time. I wrote this book. So I had written on my goal sheet every year, Lizette, this is for you and for anybody else, that I wanted to write a book. I'm writing a book. I'm writing my book. And I never wrote the book. The year that I did end up writing it, I put on my goal list, I am a published author. And that made a big difference. It was a different kind of intention. And it actually, I believe, was a big thrust as to why this happened. I wrote the entire book in 8 months. Now, we had to go through a lot of processes and rewrites and edits and all that stuff, but the book itself was done in 8 months, which is pretty quick. But it's because I had spent quiet time examining what I really thought about kindness. What would I teach someone about kindness? What are some of the lessons that I've learned in my life about kindness? This isn't so much an autobiography. This is really a book of advice and lessons learned that I believe anybody can benefit from, no matter whether they're on camera or off camera. There's one chapter called, I think, Kindness to Your Crew. You come to the center of who you are when you allow yourself time to see what's really important to you, what you really want. And I really want to be real. I really want to connect. Those are two of the things that are most important to my life. So ultimately, this is a book on being real and having what you want in life, being fulfilled and connecting with the people that you're meant to connect to. So how do you come to the center of who you are? Spend quiet time and get my book.
Yes, I support this.
Some extra comments. You can see some of the comments. Adrienne, from your fans, Prince George Memorial, and LAPL is the best. I think John will agree as well. LAPL.
Yes, John would agree.
Let's see, there's another one. Oh, this is the one to do the place the book on hold. Someone else will say yes, of course.
With claps. You have to say the clap.
So kind, so kind. There's a question from Sawa Feng.
Sawa's a super fan, so we want to say hi to Sawa. He watches or he's a super fan, watches all our programs.
Yeah, and I don't know what his question is because I'm trying to read it, but I think maybe he's just saying like,
he says hi to us every time. So
yeah, I think it's just a hi. I just don't.
Yes.
I want to make sure that I didn't miss
No.
anything. And then we have another question.
Yes. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go. I just want to put it so people can see who we are. Ruma, thank you. To enjoy the conversation. Lisette,
More
Spanish.
support.
So now you gotta make it happen, and we're gonna come back, right?
I know. I'm gonna have to.
Spanish version.
I'm gonna have
I can
Patty
see your.
do the audiobook.
Oh my God. Oh, me. It would be an honor to have you even say my name. But yes, I think,
Someone is getting the audiobook and the book for their son. So thank you, Olympia.
That's so nice.
Let's see.
This
It's
one
great advice. Yes.
And then our last question from audience.
And I feel like it just flew by and I'm just so relaxed. Like, okay, yes.
Oh, there's a couple good questions at the end. There's one, Lisette and Thomas.
Okay, Thomas Romero,
Mm-hmm.
a middle school age daughter, has a question. How do you keep your friends' spirit up when you're struggling too? Oh.
That's a great question. And I don't know your daughter's name, but Thomas, I would say this: when you are struggling is the best time to help lift somebody's spirits. I was just talking to my mentor and executive coach about this because I had met somebody who had gone through severe depression during the pandemic, job loss, all kinds of things. And I said, gosh, I really want to help him. Oh my gosh, I just want to do something. And he said, well, the best cure for depression, right? And I said, what? And I knew that he had already taught me this lesson. I just wasn't thinking of it in the moment. But my mentor said, it's to give. Give to others. That is the best way out of a funk. So when you're struggling, Greta. Hi, Greta. I love that name. What a beautiful name. When you're struggling, that's when you want to step up and do something kind and generous for other people, because it's going to lift you out of that sad place or out of that feeling of overwhelm and realize that you have a power. You may not have power to change all of your circumstances, but it empowers you to see that you do make a difference in the lives of others. And when you see the smiles on their faces, when you see how their spirits are lifted, I would encourage you, Greta, to get Valentine's cards for them, even if they have boyfriends. I hope that, they have nice people in their life, but maybe they need an extra oomph, and if you don't have the money to buy the cards, then what you could do is write letters to them, telling them how much they are good friends to you, that you appreciate them. Look around your room. You might have something that you still have the tags on. You can give them as a gift or re-gift it, but be thoughtful. Maybe just go to the store and get some candy for them and just say, I was thinking of you. I know this is your favorite. When you do that, you are going to feel so much purpose and you're going to feel alive, because the lie is that if you're struggling, you are disqualified from activity. You're disqualified from being purposed. You're disqualified from making a difference. And I want you to defy gravity, and I want you to do something kind for your friends and see how it works.
So sweet. In here, I feel like I'm always plugging in the library. I feel like a salesperson. We have programs where we teach people how to make crafts from things that they have at home, so they could create. Just watch one of our programs.
Yeah, it's easy. You don't have to have a lot of money to make a difference. You really don't. You can write somebody a letter. I would prefer you do something physical, because somebody getting a stamp and putting it in the mail, there's just something special about that.
I love snail mail. Oh my gosh. It's my favorite.
I love snail mail.
Cool. One more. I think this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
We said, Ramirez, what strategy do you use? Do you use to create a vision? Do you do journal or create a vision board?
Okay, the first thing I do is make a list. Somebody asked me, well, what do you really want? And I was able to write down 5 bullet point items. Super simple. But I needed to ask the question. I have a class, because I teach e-courses on a website called Gen Connect You. Gen, Gen, like generation, connectyou.com. You can actually go online and purchase this e-course. It's on perfectionism and architecting the perfect life. And a lot of times we want something that's so perfect that we don't allow ourselves to be creative. We actually just try to fit into a mold. But I'll actually talk to you about the one thing that you're leaving off your vision board that you need to have the life you've always dreamed of. And that's in that class, perfecting your perfect life, and not trying to just be in control. It also talks a lot about significance and how you have inherent worth. So I highly recommend it. You can go online there, or you can go on my website, adriennebankert.com, and you can find out more about the e-courses there. So
I think that answered. Someone was asking if you had a YouTube channel.
I do. I should be better about posting to it, but I do post content there. It's at AB on TV. So if you look up AB on TV, Adrienne Bankert, right there. The picture is the same as this. I think this is this face is on my YouTube channel. So you can't miss the bright yellow dress.
Oh, it's my favorite.
So
all right.
I think we went through all the questions. Patty, do you want to ask one more question? And then
I have 1.5 questions.
Okay, 1.5.
Yes, I'm saying half because I want you to tell me the secret that's in your book. I'll get there. It's not. It's actually because But yes, I'll ask you the question and then we'll get to that one. So So our final question is: are you working on any other book or project? Book.
Yes, I am. I'm writing a second book. I'm going to tell you what it is about later because it's still in progress, but it'll take a lot of things to the next level. I'm actually even more deep with some of my stories. I tell you a lot of personal stories in this book, but the next one is going to go even more raw into some of the life lessons that I've learned through my career and through just becoming. Like we all have this quest, we all have this journey, right? And I like to make it so simple so that you can literally like turn the light on in your life. You know, you don't think about flipping a switch of the light. You just do it. And all of a sudden the whole room changes. That's how I want practical advice to come to you through my books. I want you to enjoy the story, but I want you to have something actionable where it's like, that's it. Oh my God, that was so easy. You know? So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right. And then my side note is to also make them available in Spanish so that they both come out at the same time.
That should be the project, the next project. In addition,
I'm going to write this down after we get off here. I'm going to be like, yo, next book in Espanol.
Yes.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Before your half a question, I'm going to bring John as well on screen because John.
Oh, hi, John.
John goes around California, so I think he's also going to be very interested in this question.
Okay.
So I used to live in Sacramento, and Folsom is pretty close to Sacramento, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you talk about this specific Thai restaurant. It's towards the end of your book, and will you be willing to share the name of this Thai restaurant?
Absolutely. So my favorite Thai restaurant in the country is Thai Paradise in Folsom, California. It's owned by an American gentleman. He married a woman from Thailand. He actually, back in like the 70s or something, he traveled to every Thai restaurant in the continental United States, back before it was like a real popular cuisine here. And he found one of his favorites, and then it wasn't his wife, but this woman was the chef, and he ended up like marrying her, and then they started a restaurant. And now they have two. They have one in Folsom and one in El Dorado Hills. And I just guarantee you, it's some of the best Thai food you've ever had in the States. It's very well done. The what do you call it? The environment, the decor is very nice, and they are so sweet to me. And you'll actually see a picture of me hanging up on the wall if you go to the Folsom location. They're so sweet. They actually helped me celebrate my favorite birthday a couple of years ago. They brought out a cake and balloons and fried ice cream and mango and sticky rice, and just treated me like a queen. And I just love them. So.
Well, now I'm hungry, but thanks for sharing. I was like, I need to know this name for when I go up north. But yeah, so that was my half question.
Paradise. Easy to remember. It's Thai Paradise.
Road trip to Folsom.
Right? Everyone, all of us will just go.
Exactly.
You would love it.
Pandemic.
You will love it. I'm just trying to think, what do I usually get there that's really... I eat everything, so I'm not the best person to ask, but I mean, I go beyond pad Thai. I eat lots of different things, but you'll love it.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to put a few. There were people say thank you. There was,
oh, good.
Device. So I want to put it out here. Someone else agrees with us. That sounded delicious. All the food. So thank you so much. I think this has been such a great program.
You.
I truly enjoy. I know Patty as well. John.
It's great.
It was just you gave us so much advice, just professionally, personally, every level. And after this, I feel like I'm a much better person. I'm like, yes, I can take the world and do so much. So thank you.
Yeah, the world's looking for you. The world's looking for the only Ana. Is it Ana Campos?
Yes.
You're the only Ana Campos that will ever exist from now till infinity and beyond. There will never be another you. And it's like, I think for me, my last words would be that I just want us all to live in those authentic shoes at 100%. Because when we're not duplicatable, we're giving the world an answer. We're a facet of the answers that are needed for this time in history so that we can change culture, so that we can embrace people with that spirit of welcome that says, I'm with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrienne Bankert. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Ana. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
And thank you, everyone. So we'll end and have a good night.
Have a great
Thank you,
night.
everyone. Thanks.